Hi everyone, it's Lisa Brown with InkandInspirations.com, independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States. And in this video, we're going to be making an easy gift card holder, great for a birthday, using the Sweet Ice Cream Bundle from Stampin' Up! This currently is in the mini catalog, but it's also carrying over into the annual catalog for 2021-2022. So let's get started. Let's look at our main pieces that we'll be working with. For the card base, I have a piece of Blackberry Bliss cut at 4 1/4 by 11, and we're going to be doing some scoring on that. I have a piece of the Ice Cream Corner Designer Series paper. This is only available while supplies last during June because it will not be carrying over into the new catalog, and it coordinates perfectly with this set. And this piece is cut 4 1/4 by 4 3/4. And then I have another piece for the inside. This strip is 1 1/2 by 4. Then you'll need 2 layering dies or punches for the front as a background for our stamped image. Here I used the rectangle dies. Let me pull that out. Rectangle stitched framelits dies here. And I chose a size about 2 by 3 1/4, and then 2 1/4 by 3 1/2. Just something layering like this, about this size, to go on the front of your card. The size really doesn't matter as long as it fits on your card front, okay? So let's get started. Let's go ahead and score this piece. I'm going to get my Simply Scored scoring tool here, and I'm going to put the long side up at the top. And I'm going to be scoring at 4 3/4 of an inch and 9 1/2 inches. All right, let's get our bone folder and give the score lines a good crease. This just helps maintain the fold in your card and gives it a really neat finish. All right. So there we have our base for our gift card holder. Now you can see this little flap here is what is going to hold our gift card in place. So I'm using a couple of pieces of tear tape along the very edge here, and then there will be room for a gift card holder in this pocket that we're going to make. So let's peel this off. Oops. Okay, so now you just fold up, and that part is done, okay? While we're at it, let's go ahead and add this piece. It's a 1 1/2 by 4 inch piece, 4 1/4 inch piece, I believe. Let me double check that. Yes, 4 1/4. And so I'm going to use some liquid glue and just put that down over that turned up flap. All right, and it's going to fit from the top to the bottom and side to side. And we'll do something with the inside here in a minute. Now, for the outside, we can go ahead and put on our piece of designer paper. And I've cut this piece, rather than leaving a border of cardstock around the edge and cutting it 1/8 off of each side or 1/4 off of each side, I decided to just fill the whole front up with the designer paper. And so I'm going to take this piece, and you can see it's the reverse side of the diagonal stripe that we used on the inside, and just apply that up to the top there, matching top and bottom and side to side. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is add ribbon, because the layers and the stamped images are going to be on top of this ribbon, and I wanted to tie it around the front of the card base. So I am just giving myself enough ribbon to tie a bow. Usually that's at least, I've got a lot here, but usually it's at least 18 to 22 inches depending on your ribbon. The wider your ribbon, the more length you will need, okay? This is a very narrow ribbon. I believe it's 3/8 of an inch. And It's easy to tie, and the makeup of the ribbon, which is this crinkled seam binding feel, makes it really easy to tie and makes very pretty bows with minimal effort, and I love that. So now I'm just going to pull and work with that a bit and then give it a tight knot. And then we have that there ready to go, and I'm not going to secure anything or trim it down yet until I am ready to adhere the top on. So I do know I need to justify it as far as I can to the left here, okay, because our main image is going to be in the center. Okay, so now we can put that aside. I'll go ahead and take these two layering rectangles and adhere the Blackberry Bliss to the basic white. Okay, so that leaves a nice border on the edge. And now I can go ahead and place this here, but I think I'm going to wait until I adhere it down. All right, so let's do some stamping. We're going to be stamping the little ice cream cone here. And so I just have a piece of basic white, and you want a strip where you can slide your punch in on the side because you see the ice cream there. Okay, so when you slide it in, you want to stamp in that direction so that it's easy to slip in the punch and punch your image out. So I'm going to start with our darkest color first, Blackberry Bliss, and I have the ice cream stamp mounted. I'm going to get a piece of scrap paper here so that I can stamp off. And when you stamp off, you ink up your stamp and then stamp off on scratch paper to get a lighter image. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to stamp off here, and then you see how dark that is. I wanted it a little bit lighter, so I'm going to stamp here, and then I'm going to stamp it again to get even a lighter color. And then I'm going to take these little confetti sprinkles and stamp it on this lightest shade, because that's going to be our top scoop of ice cream on our cone. So I just not stamping off with that. Now watch how simple this is to just slide this in and punch. I mean, love punches and the ease of use. Okay, and then I'm going to do the top one. And then we're going to do another one in Petal Pink. Ice cream in all colors. All right, so now we've got to clean our stamp because it has that Blackberry Bliss. So I'm going to use a little bit of that just with water. And then let me get my Petal Pink. I'm going to put up the Blackberry Bliss for now. Let's get this one out. And now we can get our stamp and ink it up. I'm going to stamp off here to make sure none of that blackberry is still on there. And then ink it up. And I'm not going to stamp off for this one. I'm going to stamp at full strength. Okay. And you'll see that little light spot. There's nothing wrong with the stamp. That's just to give it some shading. That's purposely done on the stamp. So now let's slide this in again and punch. Okay, so there are 3 scoops of ice cream. And now, while I have my punch handy, this paper is in the Designer Series paper ice cream corner that's in the mini catalog. And again, this won't be around for much longer. So if you have this set, you're going to want this paper. And I'm punching out this waffle weave print in cinnamon cider for the cone. So now let's work on building this. So I'm going to get my rectangles here, and I can extend it beyond if I'd like. And I did that on my sample, so I'm going to try that again. Then I want the darkest one at the bottom, darkest scoop, and then the pink. And you don't have to put them straight if you'd like, because you know, your ice cream could start melting. All right, so we're gonna layer those just like that. So let me start with a cone. A little bit of glue and put it in the center, the bottom here. All right, now let's do our darkest Blackberry Bliss. And remember, we stamped off for this, so it's not full strength ink. So it would be lighter than this back cardstock piece. And here's Petal Pink. And I'm gonna just kind of angle that just a little bit and then get our top scoop and put that on top. All right, so now let's assemble this part of our card. I'm going to go ahead and put that toward the top here because my sentiment is going to be down here. Okay, so I want to leave room. So I'm going about a 1/2 inch or so from the top and centering that, and then it's going to anchor that ribbon down. Okay, let's go ahead and do that. Center about a 1/2 inch down. All right, now for the sentiment, I'm going to stamp this beautiful scripted happy birthday that's in the set. I love the sentiments that come with this. It even has a thank you. So those are the 2 cards I probably make the most, along with thinking of you. So let's stamp happy birthday up here. And then what I'm going to do with that is just take my paper snips and cut it out. And I'm going to split the sentiment, so to speak. So I'm just cutting straight line, as straight as I can. I'm not going to obsess over it, just get it cut. I think I want to cut a little bit more off this top. As long as you don't cut through on the sentiment, it's fine. Almost got too close there, but it's okay. And so now, let me cut them in half. All right, move that out of the way. Now I have these other little sprinkles, okay, that I'm going to use with my Petal Pink. And this time I am going to stamp off because I'm using this as somewhat of a background for the sentiments. So let me find my scrap paper again. Well, it's right there, right under my nose. Stamp off and then stamp over. Okay, just to give it a little more color and a little more pizzazz. Okay, got that done. So now what I'm going to do is get my card front here and just going to glue that. And I'm going to glue the bottom first. You always have to make sure you have room for both pieces. So I'm just going to kind of line that up on the edge there. And then it's got liquid glue so I can adjust. I didn't press it all the way down yet. Okay, there and here. So I'm basically lining up the right edge with the edge of the front of the card, okay? Then I'm going to add some of these Playing with Patterns dots that carried over. And all this, although this color, Purple Posy, has retired, it is a great little combination here and blends well with this Blackberry Bliss. It's just a lighter tone of it. Okay, so I'm going to put those 2 there and then get a mid-size one and come down here. Okay, let's look just real quick at what we can do for the inside of the card. So I have this piece of 3x4 and it's going to fit just right. And then I have Treat Yourself that I'm going to stamp on the inside in Blackberry Bliss again to match the front sentiment. So I'm just going to center that and stamp. And then I fussy cut this ice cream cone from the designer paper, and I'm just going to glue that right on the inside, on the basic white to go on the inside of the card. So let's get this, and then we're going to be finished. All right. So here you can see this is a super simple gift card holder. This will fit in a regular sized or medium envelopes, okay? And the gift card will slip right in there. And there you have it. Okay, I hope you will give that a try. Visit my website at inkandinspirations.com to get all the details and measurements for this card. Be sure to like this video, give it a thumbs up, and subscribe to my channel so you can see more of what I do. Take care and have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye.